You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We have a special guest in the building. Mtume. Did I say that right?
Yes, sir, brother.
All right.
Perfect.
Good morning, my brother.
Yes, sir. It's good to see you again, man.
The same, man. You need to tell them some of the songs that you're behind so they know exactly who you are.
Well, you know, as a writer and a producer of other artists, I did Stephanie Mills, You Know How to Love Me, What You Gonna Do With My Lovin'.
Okay.
Never Knew Love, Roberta Flack, Closer I Get to You, Back Together Again with her and Donny Hathaway. My own band, Juicy Fruit.
Juicy.
Oh, yeah. And You, Me, and He, and several others. You know, I've been in the game.
Your son always says that Juicy Fruit put him through college.
Yeah, and his sister and his...
The whole family.
yeah, but we were... Juicy Fruit, I always say, it's interesting. I consider that one of the grandparents of hip-hop, you know. And once Biggie did it, and I have to give credit to Puffy, too. I remember the first day I was... met Puffy, I was scoring a show called New York Undercover. I was doing all the music for that.
We heard of it.
Well, you know,
We watched it. We loved it.
you know, sometimes, you know, I don't assume, you know, and Puff came in and said, "Yo, I got this artist, Toombs, I want you to meet." And he says, "Biggie," and he brought him in, man. We hugged. Man, it was sweet, beautiful, man. And one of the things I said about Puff, we sat down, worked out a page and a half, you know, and that was it. You get $1, I get 50 cents. And it was the best deal we ever cut. I ever cut.
Wow.
Everybody else would be you back and forth, you know. No, Puff was straight up. And I'm not saying that just because I'm on Revolt.
Was that the biggest sample of that record so far?
It was the first, and it was the sample that put us into the next generation.
Gotcha.
There's been like 70 samples of that.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how many people have sampled that song?
Well, yeah, more than enough. You know what I mean? But Keisha Cole's version, I thought was really good. Was it Let It Go? I like that. Her and Missy.
How do you pick who samples your music? Do you want to hear the song first?
No, they pick the song, and then
Okay.
you know they ask for clearance. You know, and we just got something that just came out with Chris Brown and R. Kelly.
R. Kelly, gotcha.
Something called Juicy Booty.
Do you mind? Do you mind about clearances, or is it just matter if the splits are right?
Well, the splits, you know. I mean, I don't put
I know
no
some
more.
people are like, no, you
Well,
can't do
that's-
secular music.
Yeah, well, I ain't got that problem. You know what I mean? You know, and you know, it's about the cut, the splits on a song. You know, how much of it that they're using. You know, but like I said, it was important for me to make that reference about Puff. We sat down. My beef was, I don't know if y'all know about this. It was a big fallout. There was a song that came out called "Talking All That Jazz." Stetsasonic. That was about me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, it was about sampling.
Yeah, sampling, because I was doing a show. I used to do a co-host a radio show called Open Line here for about 20 years. And it was
What, on BLS?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was one of the co-hosts, Bob Slade, Bob Pickett, and myself. And my only thing in that, we had a conversation about sampling. I said, I'm not against sampling. I'm just into, if you're going to sample my music, pay me.
Pay me.
That's all.
Right.
Goddamn
Absolutely.
But
right.
you got to remember, back then there was a big split, brothers and sisters, with music. And there was a breakdown of what I call the cultural continuity, man, between older blacks and younger blacks.
Still going on today.
Yeah, but back then, the music was the vehicle that really expressed that division. And I just said, pay me, man. I said, it'd be no different if I took your rap and put it on my song. That don't make it my song. So Daddy-O heard part of that and didn't hear the other half, which I said the deepest thing I heard that year was Bring the Noise, you know, Public Enemy. But we worked it out. We're very good friends now. But that was the whole thing. It was a big... I mean, they were, you know, we had old head black people that was running over records and CDs with.
Yeah, see Dolores Tucker.
Oh yeah, please. I mean, you know, but I wasn't from that because I was into more about your children, your nieces, and your nephews are a reflection of you. That's the mirror. And my generation didn't want to look in the mirror. Okay, and I've always been against that, man. And it's like. We started looking at y'all through other eyes, but it was our responsibility.
You know, the irony of that is the fact that all rappers want to get paid now. Rappers not going to let you use their voice and nothing they do without getting paid.
Everybody wants to pay for everything they do.
But see, that's a good point. But see, back then, cats was the division was so big that cats were glad to be sampled.
Yeah.
Just that, don't have to pay me. You know, I had a brother, I won't name his name, he was very popular. He called me and said, man, guess what, man? So-and-so sampled me. I said, great. Did he sample a check? Okay. So that's what that was.
And it's interesting because back then it was not only just a divide of age, it was a musical genres. Because hip hop was new, y'all was doing the R&B thing, but then it was like, what's this rappity rap?
Well, see, no, you're right. Now
Rappity
I
rap.
was coming from to extend the conversation. See, my front ground ain't my back. My front ground is jazz. I played with Miles Davis for 5 years. So everything after that is like
Right.
that was always here. And coming out, of jazz, then migrating into R&B and funk. But I never looked at rap as like some kind of hybrid.
Gotcha.
I mean, to each generation creates its own music.
It's funny because listening to Juicy Fruit, like when I got older, when I was young.
Which version? No, I'm cheating.
When I was young, you just sing it. You don't really know what you're singing about.
I still don't know what I'm
The
singing
song's about oral sex.
I never knew that.
Really? I didn't know. You just put me on
know
the
that either.
Well, Wrigley's new because they tried to sue me.
I thought it was about gum.
I had no idea. As a kid, you go juicy. Juicy fruit. Yeah, no idea.
That's what I'm saying.
Now I gotta go
but
back
now
and
listen to the lyrics.
Read the lyrics.
I can look you everywhere. That's not about gum.
So Juicy Fruit tried to sue you.
Wrigley's gum. Yeah.
Why?
Wrigley. Well, they thought why does anybody sue? They thought they could get some money. So I go to the deposition, and they have this long table, man, the longest table I've ever seen in my life. And there's lawyers all on all sides. And I knew they would get to the real question. Well, Mr. Mtume, what do you mean by you can lick me everywhere? And I said, well, I'm not talking about gum. I said, I'm talking about oral sex. Everybody turned red. And they just dropped it right there.
You chewing Juicy Fruit right now.
No, actually, I'm not.
Hey, did they ever try to sample or use your record because
That would have been dope. They could have just used the beat for the Juicy Fruit
gum
commercial.
That'd be dope.
Well, that was my suggestion.
Yeah.
You can take advantage of that.
Right.
And like,
Cut a check.
this is kind of happening. But they were like, that was old school. Back in the day, it's not like it is now where corporations migrate to what's happening. They kind of ran from what was happening back then. Just like in Grammys. I won a Grammy and I don't even know where it is because I was
1980, you won one, right?
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
You said you don't even know where it is.
No, I don't care for it.
It was for Never Knew Love Like This Before.
See, I'm glad you remember because I don't. But the bottom line is the reason why I didn't care about it. We went, and that was back in the day when they would give the Black Awards off camera.
They still do
No,
that.
no, yeah, but not no. Y'all get a look. Y'all get more play. But I mean, back then, none of the major Black Awards.
Word.
And they come back and say, yeah, earlier tonight, you know what I mean? We gave the black stuff out. So that never meant nothing to me. And I never created music for awards. I'm into reward. My reward is if the people love what you're doing.
I wonder why we never make more noise about that overt racism. Like, that's overt racism. Like, the fact that they don't show the Grammys on TV. Yeah. And, I mean, you've had rappers that have boycotted it because they don't show it on TV, but that's really, like, some overt racism. Like, why nobody ever call the Grammys out for being overt racist?
Because you don't have a lot of political voices in the music now. I don't like this. I'm not claiming to be, because, we've met with the minister. So
Yes, sir.
you know where I'm at politically.
Yes, sir.
But we don't have a lot of people who have political consciousness. Either you're an artist and you're devoid of any political consciousness and you don't speak up. Like one of the problems I had with all the murders that go down, why is it that we only get irate if a white cop shoots a black person? But we can bump each other off every day, and there's no real raising of voice within the community that it affects, which is the hip-hop community.
It used to be like self-destruction.
And I was in that video.
Gang.
I was so happy.
Yeah.
I was so. That's something I'm real proud of. I was probably the oldest cat they invited, and I asked
You put
one
your
of the
gum in
brothers,
there. You put your gum in there.
Okay. Oh, you saw that move.
Yeah,
okay.
I didn't know if you was gonna put it back in your mouth or not.
No, I don't. No.
You old school now. I don't know.
No. I reuse a lot of things, but not gum.
Gotcha.
Now, I also was reading about you as a producer that you didn't even really know how to produce at first. You just said, yeah, I know what I'm doing. And then you jumped right into it with Roberta Flack and Stephanie Mills.
That's a great question. I believe the creative process has three components: intuition, intellect, and technique. Now, what do I mean by that? You don't know why you love doing this. He don't know why he loves doing what he does. It's our instinct. That's your intuition. Later on, you begin to understand intellectually why you're drawn to it. And at the end, technique is time served. Y'all good at what you do because you don't put the time in. And when you get those three things, that's what's happened. But the first one, no, I didn't know nothing about that. I didn't know why I wanted to play. You don't know why you want to do this. But once you got into it, and then y'all started rolling, checks don't hurt. But I mean, y'all doing this. This is chemistry. This
Yeah,
is
it's beautiful to get paid for what you love.
What you enjoy to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You still producing? You still?
I produce problems. No, actually, I'm just getting ready to get back into it. Our lead singer, Tawatha Ag, we're doing a new project on her. She sounds wonderful, and we're going to be using young producers. You know, I mean, it's I know what I don't do now. You know, but I just still know producing vocals and great melodies are still the tip of the iceberg. So we got working closely with a young brother named O'Haney, brilliant young brother that from Philly, but he lives in Atlanta, and you know, some other young producers, man. And I'll just try to put the cherries on the top. So
Now, when Biggie sampled your joint, did they even add real drum patterns? Because it seems like it's your song all the way muted vocals.
Yeah, well, you know, that was kind of.
And did he call you for that original beat?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So it wasn't a sample. He used the original.
Puffy and I talked. What they did, they added some playing in it, but it's the track. Mm-hmm. I'll show you the contract. It's the track.
That's not the only song they sampled from y'all too. Didn't Faith sample "Love Like This" before?
Yeah, Faith. I've got samples from Nas. What was that song? Black Girl Law. I got samples with DMX, Jay-Z, Coming of Age. That's the sample.
Oh, so your check is amazing.
Well,
those albums.
I've been very fortunate.
They continue to spin on radio.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate.
Now, I know you followed a minister.
Yes.
So did you have a relationship with brother the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X as well?
No, brother. I'm 70. I'll be 71 in January. I was always an avid follower, you know, in terms of the reading, the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I met the Honorable Minister Farrakhan in 1995, and we became very close. And he asked me to join him on several delegations. Libya, I've been Libya, South Africa, Sudan, you know, Cuba, meeting with Castro. So I've been traveling with the minister for about 15 years.
Did you ever use any of the money you were making to fund some of those civil rights movements back in the day? Because we always hear about like Harry Belafonte would do that for like Martin Luther King Jr. Did you ever do?
Oh no, I do it for community organizations.
Got you.
You see, you know, I think everybody should have a platform. And mine is the things that are happening in my immediate community. You know, I live in South Orange, New Jersey, so it's a lot of anti-violence organizations and stuff, and some things I did with the prisons, you know, stuff, paper, you know, helping with those, the kind of stuff you don't really want to talk about, but you know, you just got to do that, you know. And if you're committed to what you're talking about. I
was reading somewhere you're one of the founders of Kwanzaa, so explain
why
you founded Kwanzaa?
No. I didn't say I was 90. I said 70. No, I'm one of the original celebrants. In other words, when I went out to California to go to school, I ran into Karanga. And Kwanzaa, the original Kwanzaa was in 1966. There was about 10 of them. I was involved in 1967 when there was about 23 of us, and everybody was like, "Yo, they crazy," you know. They thought it was anti, you know, Christianity and anti Santa Claus. No, it was a cultural holiday, and the thing I'm most proud about, we decided to do that. We didn't ask Congress to pass nothing, you know, out of self-determination. So. No, I'm not the originator, but I'm one of the participants.
So to this day, you still celebrate Kwanzaa every year?
50 years.
Wow. I feel like I've been to your house I've been there for a
Kwanzaa
celebration
we've hosted a Kwanzaa celebration for 50 years. You know, now, you know, my son and my daughter, you know, father and his sisters run it now. You know.
Yeah, Kwanzaa not popping like it used to.
Well,
it's like it fell off.
Well, you know what? You're absolutely right. One of the things that made it fall off is misinformation. You know, people don't even know who started it. You know, and they have mixed things like, you know, if you're a Christian, you can't. It's none of that. But again,
it's a cultural celebration.
That's right. That's all it is.
My
it's
mom
cultural.
used to celebrate Kwanzaa, but then when I got a little older, they stopped, and then it just never the tradition never went on.
Let's reignite Kwanzaa.
Right.
The McDonald's commercials used to keep Kwanzaa popping.
McDonald's.
No.
McDonald's was heavy on Kwanzaa.
The president used to say Happy Kwanzaa. You know, they stopped all that.
Right.
You know, because you know how that is, brother.
McDonald's used to have
But
Kwanzaa.
we established something that's actually celebrated around the world, man. So. That's also part of the music, you know. What is your cultural consciousness?
Absolutely. Are you sneaking out? We can rap now.
Oh, no, I didn't thought y'all were finished. I didn't want to rush out.
This guy is
He was
so
giving us so much
crazy.
knowledge, man. But we appreciate you for joining us, man. I didn't
And
want
that's
to
why
rush
you
it
leave it. I'm messing.
But it's been 20 years since Juicy came out with
20? No, sister.
with Biggie.
Oh, Biggie.
Biggie's version.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know we're here we want to talk about the 20th anniversary of that. Also, I wanted to ask you, having worked with somebody like R. Kelly, right? How do you separate what somebody does in their personal life with their music? Do you? Or do you feel like...
He said if the splits is right,
But I'm saying, morally, are you sometimes like, okay, this person...
I would say that's a great question, especially in light of the atmosphere we have today. Somebody being accused of something. And I'm not saying, or I'm not taking a moral position. If I tell you about some of the habits of some of these artists that you revere, I just don't separate. I don't get into that unless it's something that's just so reprehensible. We're getting ready to watch a cat. Probably, I was listening to you earlier today, but in all probability, Moore is probably going to win.
Right.
Okay? And that means we're going to talk true talk because Democrats do not understand how to win. They know how to run. They don't know how to win. And Trump is so stupid that he wins. You understand? We have to rethink why progressives keep losing.
Because they're so busy pointing out the flaws of the Republicans instead of telling the people what exactly they're going to do.
You're absolutely right. And you know a perfect example of that? All you've been hearing ever since the election is why Trump
how
won.
Bad he is.
That's how bad he is, but why he won. It's the Russians, it's aftershave lotion, it's anything. They don't ask the question, why did Hillary lose? And until you look in the mirror and ask the right question, you don't understand what the answer is. We keep underestimating, man, the opposition. No, man. Why did she lose? I know she carried hot sauce and all that, but I saw that. But why did the Democrats lose? Because the assumption, the arrogance. Oh man, no way, Trump. He's so stupid. He's so. You know what? But they are smart in knowing how to target and get done what they need to get done.
They have an agenda.
Yes.
Democrats don't have an agenda other than the Republicans
First
are so
of all,
bad.
What is their message? And who's their messenger?
Right.
After President Obama, who's the messenger?
Who do you like for 2020?
As my granddaughter would say, I ain't seen it yet.
Yeah. I would love to see Kamala Harris.
I think she's great, but in politics, a year is a lifetime. Ain't nobody saw Obama coming.
Right.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And nobody saw Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
How did a 74-year-old socialist come from nowhere? And he said the only reason why he said he got in the race was because he couldn't believe that Hillary was being coronated. He said somebody need to be. He said suppose she fall out of the plane. He gets in and taps right into youth. How does that happen?
And Bernie had an agenda.
Yes.
A plan.
And she was a flawed candidate.
Yeah.
The assumption of victory is a dumb refuge to seek.
Right.
You got to work it through, but I didn't want to
The
get too much
assumption
of
of victory is a dumb refuge to seek. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And I dug your book too.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Well, listen, I appreciate you for coming through. I was flattered that you would even want to come up to the
Oh,
Breakfast
flattered.
Club.
What you talking about? This, to me, this is the kind of setting I love. It's not enough conversations between older and younger. Like younger will talk to themselves. Old, I don't talk to old people for what? I mean, you know what I mean?
What artists do you listen to now? Like what new artists?
Well, it's artists. Well, first of all, of course, Kendrick Lamar just blows me away. But I'm glad you raised that question. Because more importantly to me, I'm listening to the production of the new young producers. And I found it's a very interesting cycle that has happened. You're having a lot of young jazz cats produce. Like Terrence Martin does.
Terrence Martin's dope.
He's an incredible saxophonist.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, when I heard Kendrick's performance, I called my son Fi. I said, man, get this young brother's name, because I call cats out of the blue.
Right.
I said, I want to talk to him.
I'll talk to Terrence.
And he was into, man, wow. He said, couldn't believe it. I said, no, man. I said, when I heard that sax, I said, damn. And then you have...
The Pimple Butterfly was a real jazz influence album, too.
Yeah. And then you have Rob Glasper.
All right.
Robert Glasper. Yeah, I said Rob, but it's all right. And then it's the young brother that when I talked to Common, the brother that did his version.
Kareem Riggins.
He's a jazz musician. So something's coming. Something's coming because now the music is doing full circle. These cats are in hip hop and they also got a foot in jazz.
What do you think happened to jazz? They always say jazz kind of got extinct, went extinct.
Well, brother, everything kind of gets extinct when it begins to not be, when it no longer is able to press the boundaries. Okay, look, parts of hip hop got extinct when sampling just kind of people were sampling the sample of the sample. It was like, okay, damn, all right. Funk got boring to a certain extent.
Disco.
Yeah, see.
Disco was
Well, down in Crisco, I wasn't really into that, but disco was like a hybrid. But I'm talking about that's the era I'm coming up in. It was funk and R&B. You know, disco was like something that came through. But the question to answer you, man, it's also about when you don't hear music. I can say that about blues. I mean, we created blues. Most young black people don't know about. Where would they hear it?
Yeah.
You go to a blues concert, I can count the amount of black and brown kids that are there, because you know the white listening public who embraced the music through the English. You know, when the Beatles and all them began dealing with Howlin' Wolf and Muddy Waters, but we've lost. I had a great conversation, if you don't mind, with B.B. King, and B.B. King said one of the things that pained him the most. He said, "I try to keep an all-black band." He said, because it's harder and harder for me to find young black, musicians that can play the blues.
Wow. Do you think hip hop might ever experience that fate?
Has to, in order for something else to grow.
Ooh.
Feel me? It's called evolution.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it. But...
Somebody's gonna come along, maybe 30 years from now, some little kid, and say, "Yo, that's the track." And we everybody go, everything has to die in order for something new to come.
So you think jazz died for hip hop to grow?
I don't think jazz died as much as it got co-opted.
And that's what's happening now in hip hop. Because I thought about that with jazz too. Because it was like, who was it? Michael Bolton? Not Michael Bolton. Was it Michael Bolton?
Well, no, he's a singer. You talking
It was a
about
white-
Kenny G?
Kenny G.
Oh,
there
yeah.
you go. Kenny G.
Yeah. Yeah, everything gets watered down. And once it gets watered down into the larger public, see, capitalism has a way of absorbing everything eventually. And you've seen it in hip hop. But again, to repeat my point to you, it has to, whatever exists at some point has to die in order for something new to replace it.
People
agree
always
with
feel
that.
like that about R&B too right now. It's just the way that R&B has been, like it used to be, so different than what it kind of has morphed into today.
Well,
A lot of R&B artists would tell you it's hard for them to do that like soulful R&B because they don't feel like people are buying it.
well, not only that, people buying. Nobody was signing it. And we're gonna talk real, right?
Absolutely.
I'm right here with y'all.
Absolutely.
What started to happen was you had the elimination of the originators of the music. Okay? Well, what do I mean by that? I mean, what young black singers were being signed? They were all being replaced with white singers. Look, this is not don't make it like, I don't want y'all getting no mail. Oh, man, that dude was a racist. No, nothing like that.
Cares?
But I'm saying, if you notice, who gets signed? And it started to happen in rap. All of a sudden, the original cats were not the cats anymore. It was this other thing that emerged. And young black artists, singers especially, man, would not get signed. And I'm sorry, I'm only laughing because I'm thinking, when I was growing up, I remember Little Richard said, man, R&B used to mean real and black. He said, now, it's something else. And when young kids don't, and the video helped kill it too. Video helped kill R&B. When everybody felt they had to water their videos down for another audience, it's a lot of reasons, and I don't want to just I know I'm jumping all over the place, but there's a replacement factor.
Do you think that I think it would be hard for hip hop to be co-opted because there's so many black rappers that rise up as well. You got the white rappers that come in. Jazz, it seemed like it was a rise of white jazz musicians, but a lot of black people weren't gravitating towards jazz as much.
Why was there a rise? There's a systematic elimination. I want to say real quick. What happened with black singers, because that was a great point. What started to happen, they took the lead singers out the group, and the group died. Started with a group called Jackson 5. Take the lead singer out, what happened? Group died.
And turned white.
Right. Then you took, that was a twofer.
Yeah.
Then you had a group called the Commodores. Take the lead singer, what happened? The group died.
Yeah.
You had a group called Rufus. Take the lead singer, the group died. Group called LTD. Take the lead singer, Jeffrey Osborne, the group died. So all these groups began to die. And now here's another question. Why are there no black bands? Other than the Roots, who I love, but name three more.
Is the internet all black? I don't even know if the internet's all black. I don't know.
No, you know me. No, but I love them too.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about, you know me. See, bands represent the root and fundamental community of a musical form. When I was coming up, and age is real, But, you know, there was Earth, Wind, and Fire. There was Kool and the Gang. There was Ohio Players. There was all these groups, Slave, P-Funk. You don't have any groups. And there's a reason. They're not signed.
Yeah.
You dig? I mean, to not have a young black group, that's insane to me.
Yeah. So is there a way to prevent it, or it just has to die eventually?
Well, the one good thing is that coming up now, if I were a young artist coming up, this is a great time to come up. You know why? Because you can create your music, press send, and it's all over the world.
You don't need to get signed.
First of all, signed to what? You know, record companies are dinosaurs now, you know. Matter of fact, they cruise the net to find out who's getting the most hits. They don't know what's going on. And the deals they make with young artists are crazy. 360 deals. They take your publishing, you know, everything, part of your tour and all that. This is a great time to be creative. The question is, will people take advantage of it?
Wow.
All right.
I didn't mean for us to go.
No, it's okay.
I love that.
No, we went where we went, you know.
If people watch these and they be like, they want those jewels, you know what I
Right.
mean? Absolutely.
You think that, I know your kids, I know Fi did some music. He had a group,
Oh,
New Romance
and he
Crew.
told me you be clicking on him about it. Yeah, the New Romance Crew. Yeah, the New Romance Crew.
Did you want your kids to get into the music business?
I never, ever wanted to push them in any direction.
He said you threw him in the group. I'm just, you know.
Oh, he was good. He was good. I thought he meant because he was good and it completed the package. But I never did that, you know. Matter of fact, you know, Fi was very helpful to me to get me to understand hip hop.
Right.
Because I remember, you know, I'm knee deep in all this funk and everything, and I heard him play this record, ding, 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 a ding, 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 ding. I said, man, turn that off. It's out of tune. And it was like Boogie Down Productions. And he started explaining. I'm coming from another thing. I had to learn. I had to realize that I had to adjust to a new sound, a new technology, and begin to. You always got, what do they say? You got 3 ears. We can either hear with our head, our heart, or our body. But they all 3 of them got an ear.
Wow.
You know, some music makes us think. Some music is emotional or love. The other music is right here. That's your body. So,
All right.
yeah, the ears have it.
That
Well,
was
thank you to the good brother Mtume.
Man, thank you so
Yes,
much,
sir.
brother, for having me.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
If they want to, I don't know, contact you or follow you, I don't know. I'm sure you on Facebook.
Come by before the Kwanzaa celebration.
But I would just like to say again, thank you and giving me a chance to speak to your audience. And if I've said anything of worth, I hope, you know, some of it can be embraced.
absolutely.
You definitely did, my brother. Thank you for coming, man.
Okay, man.
It's the Breakfast Club.